All right, folks, going live a few seconds early. Let me see what's going on in the comments up in here. All right, yeah, here we go. We're only 30 minutes away. I haven't really been keeping track of this other ball game. I know we've got one going on right now with, let's see, number 12, Clemson. Oh, so I know what's going on there. I know it's like a 14-point game there, but just a few minutes ago. All right, folks, I know y'all are excited. Let's see who all we got up in here. Let's see who the very first person was. Stingray. Stingray. That's got to be his ride right there. Let's see. Oh, yeah, he wanted me to make sure I don't forget the good luck charm. I have not forgotten it. This thing's been good for the Vols. It led us to a national championship in baseball, which was nice and fun. And we used it 3 times this year. Florida, Alabama, and Georgia at 1, 2, 3, which is pretty good. I'm thinking this thing's like 12 out of 14, which is exceptional because I only use this when it's really important. I mean, extremely, extremely important. That's the only time. So let's see what's going on. Oh, crap. Just wanted to see what was going on with the game. Oh, let's see. Now, folks, I'm hearing we're got more than 30,000 at that ball game. I want to show you this so you can kind of get a feel. This was about 20 minutes. Well, it might have been 10 minutes ago. Let me pull this up, let you look at it. I'll tell you who shared this was Ross Dellinger. Right here, let me play this. I can't. Music will get me in trouble. But as you can see, there's quite a few Vols fans there already. You're seeing a lot of orange, and the further this goes, you'll start really seeing it. I mean, there's a pretty good chunk of orange in that stadium. So I thought y'all would want to see that. And my bro is there as well. Let me get that out of here. So he's in the middle. He said there's a bunch. I mean, a whole bunch there. Let me remove that. So I think 35,000 is what I'm guessing. What are y'all hearing? I'm sure y'all are hearing something similar. Wait a minute. You're breaking up. Can you hear me? I don't think I'm breaking up. Y'all would have told me that by now. Kneeling North for sure. And since this, as you know, I call this Billy Baru. I always use it on the big games.
Spaulding, this calls for the old Billy Baru. Billy. Whoa, Billy. It's a biggie.
This is a biggie, folks. It's a biggie. Oh, my gosh. Well, that's oh crap, that's probably the internet. I won't be able to do anything about that. Uh-oh, getting spammed here a little bit. Ah, crap. Well, let me try something here. Hopefully that fixed it up. Loses a lot of stuff I was going to use, though, unfortunately. But that should have fixed it. I tell you, you do these things that are live, and you got to count on the internet. Yeah, I think that fixed it, whatever problem there was. Looks like Texas. Wait a minute. How far behind am I on this? Good Lord. It'll pick it up. Let me pull that. Darn it. Every time this happens, I lose my video files. Don't worry. I'll find them. It won't be a problem. I know everybody's ticked off about the college football playoff so far because it just hasn't been what we'd hoped for, and I can understand why. But here's the thing about tonight. There is no tomorrow. I'll just go ahead and tell you.
He's hooking. He's hooking. Damn, Ron, come on! What's the matter with you?
Tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
Nothing could be more true. It's kind of been that way ever since, since the Georgia game for sure. And then we even had to get lucky. We had to catch a break, which we did. Ole Miss losing to Florida. That trap game really got them. And Florida's all excited. Gosh, they ought to be. I tell you, they're looking better. Billy Napier's job is safe. Let's see. Sound copy. Clemson. Oh, Clemson's already lost. Well, that doesn't surprise me much. They were at least they had a pretty good amount of people. Let me do something about this. How am I getting spammed? I'm going to do this right here. Good Lord. Tell you can't win for losing sometimes. All right, so I'll tell you, this is a game this is probably the most important game Josh Heupel's ever had. That's what I think anyway. It's just monstrous. He wins this ball game. I mean, he's sitting pretty. Already took out. Oh, good. I'm glad y'all blocked that spammer. The Alabama game in 2022 was his biggest win. That was a monster win. Beating Florida 2 out of the last 3 has been huge. Getting that monkey off our back. Beating Alabama 2 out of 3. We've struggled with Georgia, but crap, just about everybody struggled with Georgia. So there's not much you can do that. Let me pull y'all up. I made some things today that I think y'all will enjoy. Let's see here. Let me pull up a couple more here I think you'll like. I think this is what everybody's thinking when it comes to these teams that have been put ahead of us and ahead of a lot of other teams that probably ought to be in this.
We'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
Yeah. Alabama, South Carolina, and Ole Miss, they should have been in. And based on the teams and these that we've seen, SMU and Indiana, they just didn't. They didn't even show up. I mean, it was just they just pushed them. They just pushed them, and because they don't have the talent, and they played those easy schedules. And look what you get. You get very boring, one-sided games. There's not much you can do about that. So it is what it is. It says leave the gold chain. If it's not a gold chain, it's an orange chain, man. It's an orange chain. It's my Mr. T starter kit. Come on. Let's see. I know.
Roadhouse.
Yeah, that's my Mr. T starter kit. Now, I'm not leaving it. It's been too good to me. We've won too many games with this chain. It's very lucky. It's a very lucky chain. Look, it can't win everything. I mean, it can't do it all, but it helped us get a national title in baseball. And there's nothing more fickle than baseball. I mean, my gosh. That's the toughest sport to win a national title, in my opinion, because any team can beat you at any time. It's not like that in football. There's no crappy team's going to be a great team. That's extremely rare, but in baseball it happens all the time. Let's see. Yeah, 30,000 plus. I think that's huge, folks. I really do. If we can turn this almost into a neutral setting, that eliminates that huge advantage, because if you've noticed in these games, not only were the other teams that were on the road not good enough to play those teams, that the crowd definitely affected them. Like it's at least a touchdown difference. If we can take it from a touchdown down to a field goal, I'd be happy. That's really what I'm looking for it to do, having those 30,000 in there. And if they're loud, which I fully expect them to be extremely loud, hopefully our team gives them lots of reasons to cheer. And we'll be able to drown out some of the Ohio State. It's not going to be easy. That's their home field. So they're going to have an advantage. But I think we've eliminated that advantage as much as we could possibly hope for. I wouldn't be surprised if there's 5,000 or 10,000 open seats because of the weather and because the Ohio State people are, they're down on their team. I don't know if they're down on the team. I think they're down on their coach. It's probably what it is. Let me get into the comment section and see what y'all are saying here. Well, let's see. I've got a super chat. Neyland North. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I love that. The Neyland North, and they're playing Rocky Top all over the bars and everything. My brother, Junebug, like I said, is up there, and he said it's everywhere he's been. Of course, they've been going to the bars and the restaurants and all that, and he said they're playing Rocky Top like crazy. And, of course, they've taken over a lot of those areas, especially the night before, So, bad connection. I can do that. Let's see. 35,000, you think, bud? You may be right. I know it's 30 at least. So, pumped about that. Pumped. Boos are great. It's going to pump up Ohio State. No, I'm not, because I know Desmond Howard. Well, I don't know. He's a Michigan dude. So, and I know he doesn't like Ohio State. So, you never know with him. I wouldn't think he's saying anything positive about State, but, he's a big-time Michigan homer. Lord. I get rid of this right here. Let me see. Put user in timeout. Delete comment. Yeah, okay, here we go. There we go. Okay, I think I got rid of it. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully that takes care of it. I think that's one of the few times I've been spammed. That's pretty rare. I guess this is a big game. Obviously, it's a big game. Good Lord, it's the game everybody's been talking about, everybody's been excited about. And they're pumped. So we've only got, let's say we got 20 minutes. And look, I'll go ahead and tell you, it's not going to start at 8 o'clock. It's going to start at 8:15-ish, 8:10, I would think. But anyway, let's see. I don't think that's what it was. I think it's the game. Let's see what Coconut here says here. Coconut's been pretty cool. He's a Ohio State guy, but he's been pretty cool this whole time. And he comes into the chat, and he's pretty reasonable. And we've been reasonable with him. We don't play Ohio State very often, so there's not a lot of bad blood there, honestly. Not like that Michigan thing. Good Lord. I just almost can't believe how bad the blood is between Michigan and Ohio State. You see that sometimes in state, like the Auburn, Alabama, because you live right there with everybody, that you got to see their colors every day, and their cars are all. It's just it's hard. Same thing with South Carolina and Clemson, Florida State. But you usually don't see it with states playing each other because they don't have to see each other every day. But, man, I'm telling you, it is bad blood between those two teams. So, let's see. Yeah, whoever wins this plays Oregon, which, honestly, the thing about Oregon, I mean, they're a good team. Their offense is great. But their defense is gettable, man. It is gettable. If you've watched them, you can score on them. So I don't know that I don't feel intimidated playing them at all. I think it'd be a heck of a ball game, and I think they'll score some points for sure. I think it'll be a good game if we can get to that. And I think it would be for Ohio State too. Ohio State, regardless of what happens, they need to figure something out with their coach. Either need to get behind him and be supportive, or they're going to have to find somebody else. It's extremely hard for a team to be 1 foot in, 1 foot out on a coach. We've gone through that. We went through that with Jeremy Pruitt, with Butch Jones, with Dooley, which was that was a terrible hire. And then of course Lane Kiffin, they put the old backstab deal on us, which knocked out. That was the worst thing could have happened. And that was back when you had to rush to get a coach because of the recruiting class. Nowadays, with the transfer portal, you can kind of take your time, honestly. It's really – your head coach is so important. I mean, it's just so critical. That's why a lot of these coaches get these huge contracts, and then 2 years later, you're like, they're totally creaked. FSU is dealing with that right now. I mean, Norvell's – got to get it turned around. He just gave up $4.5 million of his salary, half his salary for a year, because he feels so bad. So pretty smart, really. Get him some goodwill, and he can use that money to get some players. Says, what's the attendance? Let me see. I'd say I keep hearing 30 to 35,000, but see, I think there's going to be, I want to say there's going to be 90,000 out of 102. I think there's going to be 10,000 plus open seats, because if you've looked on the secondary markets, they've dropped the prices. I saw a bunch of tickets for $70 on Seat Geek or whatever the crap that's called, and there was like 3 different ticket places, and they were all starting at $70. Now, granted, if you want to sit on a 50-yard line or 40 or whatever, you're going to pay $200 or $300. But if you just want to get in and have a seat anywhere, it's $70 right now, and it might be even less now. It might be 40. So, if you want to be in that game, you're getting in that game. That's just the way that it is. So it tells you Ohio State fans they're in a little bit of a wait and see. If they win this game, then they go to the Rose Bowl. Oh, Lord, here's another one. Let me get rid of this, folks. I'll tell you, spam they come up with another spam way to get you. So that took care of that up. I did learn something. I think that, I've never banned anybody. That's the first time, but that was spam, so it doesn't count. But I've never I don't think I've ever blocked or eliminated a actual person that I'm aware of. Let's see. Yeah, I know. Spam is frustrating. Let me see what all y'all say. I'm looking for a really good comment. Oh, I know what I need to do. I want to hear your what you think the score is going to be, your prediction, and then I'm going to tell you mine. And if you've watched the show this morning, you know what it is. But y'all give me some numbers, and give me realistic numbers. I know some of you are going to say Vols by 50. That's not. We're not going to win by 50, nor is Ohio State. So, yeah, Junebug is he's been there. Wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah, gosh almighty. Oh, here we go. Get some scores. Yeah, Junebug's there, Stingray. Oh, man, hold on. Dadgum. Get rid of that. Oh, it's coming so fast I can't get rid of it. There. All right. Man, that must have all kinds of accounts. Let's see. 28-27. I would take, honestly, I'd take that and run. Let's see. Here's a 27-23. That's close to mine. Luther's going 21. Purnell's, man, I don't know if we can score that many points in Ohio State. They got a great defense. I'm going to tell you something. You're going to see a really good defense tonight out of both teams. I fully expect Ohio State to air the ball out. That's their best chance to win this ball game, is to use those wide receivers. And I know it's cold up there, but I don't think the wind is going to be horrible. It might be 5 to 10 miles per hour, which is not terrible. I know the gusts are going to be up to 15, but that's hit and miss. How windy is it? Now, I know I got some Ohio State fans in here. How windy does that stadium get? I know it's a horseshoe, so there's an opening, which is not good for wind. Anytime you have an opening in a stadium, that wind's going to find it. So, but how windy does it get in there, Ohio State fans? Y'all will know this for sure. Coconut, you'll know it. But I think it's going to be a factor. I don't think it's going to be a monster factor. Yeah, they're saying 5 to 7, 15. Let's see, 15 minutes ago. Well, 5 to 7 is not too bad, honestly. Hold on. Gosh almighty. Got to ban that user. Boy. Man. They're frustrating. Let's see. It can be turbulent, but it's closed. Let's see. Okay. I got Barry for the, let's see, 10 miles per hour. Yeah, that's not too bad. Like I said, I think that you're going to see a lot of throwing the ball. Here's the other thing I think you're going to see, which you haven't seen a ton of this year, and this happens in playoffs. I think Nico's going to run. And I know their quarterback's going to run for sure, because he's a running quarterback. Will Howard, he's a big dude. He's 6'4", 235. And he's a very good runner. That's kind of what he's known for. And he's had a good year this year. He's thrown 72%, but against really good defenses, he's normally in the high 50s. And Nico's kind of that way too. When he played Georgia, he was like 57% or something. So You're going to see Nico run. I think you really will. Ah, boy, they must have a billion accounts. That's the first time. High chance of raining, but I don't know. Let's see. Drinks on. So that's what I'd like to see Nico with like 60, 70 yards running. I think that would be huge. And it would also keep a really good defensive line that Ohio State has from pinning their ears back and coming after him. Because honestly, they're gonna try to get to him. And we're gonna try to get to their quarterback too. If we do not get to Will Howard, he'll have a good night. We're gonna have to put pressure on him. So, man, this is exciting. I'm so pleased that we're in this playoff, the first one. And I know that, look, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, there's going to be changes this playoff. You can count on it. After this season and seeing what just happened with the teams that really didn't deserve to be in, they weren't good enough to be in. Let's just put it that way. You know, I know they won their games, but their strength of schedule was weak, and that allowed teams to get in. And then on top of it, you've got this communism, socialism thing where, oh, well, if you win your conference, you automatically get a bye. You know, we're going to see Arizona State and also what's the other team? The Group of 5 team, is it Boise State? They're going to get whooped. They're going to end up playing a really good team and get whooped. Penn State's got the easiest route too. You know, they lost in the Big Ten championship, and they've got the easiest run. They end up playing. They'll be playing Boise State, so he might. He'll just run just to stay warm. I don't think the players are going to get cold, honestly. I mean, once they get moving, you know, unless they're standing on the sidelines, I think it'll be strong. You've got a team. Here's the thing. All the pressure is on Ohio State. I understand that. But on the other hand, we want to win. I mean, I'll go ahead and tell you, we want to win bad. This is not a, hey, we're just happy to be there crap. Not at all. This team, if you saw Tennessee, they showed up, man. They were pumped. I saw them before the show. They were jumping around going crazy. They were super pumped. So they want to win. You've got a team with more talent, but they do have the offensive line issue. I don't know how much that's going to play a factor in there. You know, if it was at Neyland and they were having to deal with the noise, I think an offensive line would really struggle, especially with they're out 2 of their best offensive linemen. And that's really affected them this year, like it would any team. You know, if we lost 2 of our guys, and we've had injuries on that offensive line, and it's been a pain. And you especially don't want your tackles injured, because that gets quarterback hurt real quick. Really interesting. Said one whole side of the stadium looks orange. That's awesome. I'm still a little bit surprised that Ohio State didn't pick up more of those tickets, because they got first dibs. They were supposed to have it up to 100,000 of the 103. So I'm a little surprised by that. I thought they would. Of course, they've been in so many playoffs. So it's not a big deal to them, whereas it's a huge deal to us. I mean, we're super pumped, whereas they're like, well, heck, we're always in the playoffs, so why should we be pumped? We lost to Michigan, and, you know, we're not where we want to be. We didn't win the Big Ten. So there's a lot of negativity, not with everybody. Some of the, you know, obviously a lot of their fans are diehard, but I think it's definitely affecting them. Let's see. Said retired 37%. Okay. You may be right. It may be right at that. Oh, are they down to 20? Yeah. Said tickets are down to 20. I had a feeling by kickoff, they're going to be down to just almost nothing, because, you know, they're worthless once you get a certain part of the game. You can't do anything. They're just paper at that point. So, wow, fan. Let's see. All right, let's see. We got 6 minutes. I need this to come through, folks. We need this to come through. We need our Vols to come through. 45. It might. I'm gonna tell you something, folks. It could be that much. It could be 40 or 45%. That's not impossible. Not at all. Columbus is what, 5-hour drive, 5.5, something like that. I mean, that's not a terrible drive. It's not like it's an all-day deal. And you know how Tennessee travels. And crap, if it was in the South, we could probably sell all 90,000 if it was warm. So, not a pair. He's got it at 24-17. That would be fine. I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm at 2017. I'm calling the upset, which that's an upset because they're favored by 7.5. I don't think that spread's moved around very much. So I just think we're going to pull it out. I think we've got an advantage at coaching, not a huge advantage. I still think their coaches are good. I really do. I know Ryan Day is, folks are down on him right now, but he's still a pretty darn good coach. But I do think Josh Heupel gives us an advantage there. I think Ohio State's got the pressure on them. I think we're going to play a little freer. We'll see. I mean, crap, anything can happen in football. You get the turnovers and all that kind of crap, but it's exciting. All right, folks. Just a few minutes to go. I'm going to end this stream here in just a second. I'm running out of words. Oh, I know what I want to play. Doggone, I almost forgot something that I made. I'd be mad at myself. Here we go.
Think you had it in you.
I'm your huckleberry. Why, Johnny Ringo. You look like somebody just walked over your grave.
That was one. I made that one today for the Ohio State fans because I don't think they expected us to show up like we did. And, I didn't. I got to play one more. See, I had all this stuff ready, but then when I had to pop out, that kind of creeped me. One more. Where is it? Oh, Lord. If it ain't one thing, it's another. That's the thing about going live. It's tricky. And with Nico, it's always this with Nico.
Because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
That's one of my favorites. I always thought that was hilarious. All right, folks, go Vols. Hopefully, I don't see any injuries for either team, and I hope it's I'm looking for a great game. I hope it's a really great game, and and I hope my Vols pull it out at the end. I'll see y'all after the game. I'll do a post game, even if we lose. I'll do it. I do that. Even if it doesn't go our way, I'll have to. There'll be some Ohio State fans coming in laughing, but we won't see them if we win. Well, we might see Coco and a couple others. All right, go Vols.